Hi, so today we will talk about donor's tax. So, donor's tax is a tax imposed on the gratuitous transfer of property between two or more persons who are living at the time of the transfer. So, from this very definition, we would already know the nature and characteristic of donor's tax. It is a gratuitous transfer based on gratuity. Okay, and the item that is being transferred is a property. So sinabi diyan property, there's no distinction. So we will not provide any distinction, which means even if it's a property, real or personal, between two or more persons, of course, dalawa yan, who are living, kailangan parehas na buhay. Kasi if one is dead, let's say the donor is dead, then it is subject to estate tax at the time of the transfer. It shall apply whether the transfer is in trust or otherwise. Remember the definition of trust for income tax purposes. There is this one person who has money or property. That person is the trustor. He entrusted the property to a person who shall manage or administer the property. That person is the trustee. The money or the property is the trust. So if a property has been transferred, okay, in trust, so that can also form as a donation. Whether the gift is direct. Pag sinabing direct, I have this real property or personal property, I give it to you by way of donation and you accepted. Direct donation yon. Yung indirect naman, there is no express way by which it was given to you. Example, implied siya. So example, I own a cell phone. Okay, yung laptop ko, ito, my laptop. The cost of this is 100,000. Para maniwala kayo, you can check it online, Spectre HP. So 100,000, tapos binenta ko lang sa'yo ng 10,000. Okay? The cost of this one, okay, is 100,000. Binenta ko lang sa inyo ng 10,000. Ang tawag dito, transfer for insufficient consideration. You see, the cost or the value of which is 100,000, but it was only sold to you for 10,000. So, the 90,000 excess of the cost or fair market value, okay, or fair market value, assuming na ito ay bago, okay, is an implied donation. Meaning, yung 90,000 donation ko sa'yo. Indirect yon kasi there is no intention on my part to donate the laptop to you. Kaya nga binenta ko eh. So, indirect donation yon. And whether the property is real or personal. Okay? Now, donation is an act of liberality whereby a person disposes graciously, okay, or gratuitously of a thing or right in favor of another who accepts it. So, liberality po yan. Dahil sa, the consideration here is the love. Okay, an act of liberality. So, this is gratuitously of a thing or right in favor of another who accepts it. So, what are the things that we have to consider also in discussing donor's tax? So the donor's tax return is BIR Form 1800. It is filed on every donation, okay? And the donor's tax is paid to the BIR for the purpose of acquiring an electronic certificate authorizing registration or ECAR. The ECAR is a proof that appropriate taxes was paid. And remember, this is one of the discussions in estate tax too. And binanggit din natin in our discussion of estate tax that that it is one of the one-time transactions. Okay, estate is a one-time transaction. Donors is one-time transaction. Capital gains tax on sale of real property and sale of shares of stock not listed basically are one-time transactions. So, what about the contributions for election during elections? Okay, they are not covered by revenue regulation or the rule under donors taxation, which was implemented under revenue regulations 12/2018, because these are governed by the Omnibus Election Code. Computation of donors tax is on a cumulative basis over a period of 1 calendar year. So which means if there was a donation in January, tapos mayroon donation in March, i-accumulate siya. Ito total siya parate. Okay, and there's another donation in June, in September, and December. Okay, why do we have to, bakit siya cumulative? Kasi in donation, we have a deduction of 250,000 equivalent to except gift. So, yung 250,000 is yan ay gagamitin lamang for over a period of 1 calendar year. So, hindi siya yung halimbawa donation in January minus 250. And then there's donation in March minus 250 ulit for every donation. Hindi po ganyan yan. Kaya ito total yung donation from January and then March, tapos minus 250. Isang minus lang siya. So if there's a donation also again in June, so the donations in January, in March, and June total, okay, cumulative yan, less 250. If there's another one in December, so January, March, June, December, total less 250,000. Okay, so isang beses lang makiklaim ang 250,000 deduction or equivalent to except gift. Donation of real property is subject to documentary stamp tax. The rate is 15 pesos for every 1,000 plus 15 pesos on every fraction. So halimbawa, 1 million pesos, walang fraction yan kasi it's divisible of 1,000. So 1 million pesos times 15 over 1,000. So essentially, it's 1.5%. But wag mong gagamitin ang 1.5% kung merong fraction. Example ng fraction, 1 million 1,000. 1 million pesos and 1,500,000 pesos. 1 million 1 peso. Okay, yung mga fraction. So 15 pesos yung equivalent ng equivalent to 1,000. Okay? So rate of donors tax beginning January 1, 2018, the donors tax for each calendar year shall be 6% computed on the basis of the total gifts in excess of the 250,000. So ito yung sinasabi ko sa inyo kanina na exempt gift made during the calendar year. It is equivalent to 250,000. So just like in your income tax, for individual taxpayers, this was introduced under the Train Law. For income tax purposes, individual taxpayers, their total deduction is 250,000. Okay, so merong ganyang provision under donors tax. So for every donation, for a donation for each calendar year, there is a deduction equivalent to exempt gift of 250,000. Okay. Now, what is the basis of the 6%? The basis is the net gift. Okay, which means the economic benefit from the transfer that accrues to the donee. Accordingly, if a mortgage property is transferred as a gift, but imposing upon the donee the obligation to pay the mortgage liability, then the net gift is measured by deducting from the fair market value of the property the amount of mortgage assumed. Example, there's a real property, okay, donated to you. Let's say the value of which is 2 million. Okay, 2 million, tapos naka-mortgage siya by 1 million. So, ibig sabihin may utang yung real property. Ngayon, if I gave the real property to you, the 2 million, there may be an agreement that you assume, o bibigay ko to sa yung property na to, pero bayaran mo yung utang. That kind of concept. Okay? So, essentially, you have to pay the mortgage value of 1 million pesos. The loan or the mortgage of 1 million pesos. So essentially, ang dinonate ko lang talaga sa iyo 1 million. Bakit? Kasi pabayaran mo yung 1 million eh. So economic benefit mo 1 million. Okay? So that is the meaning of that. If a mortgage property is transferred as a gift but imposing upon the donee the obligation to pay the mortgage liability, then the net gift is measured by deducting from the fair market value of the property the amount of mortgage assumed. So ikaw kasi magbabayad nito eh. So, total 2 million talaga yan. Kaya lang may utang na 1 million. So, since ikaw magbabayad ng 1 million, 1 million lang dinonate ko. So that is the basis of the 6% donor's tax. Okay. Now, prior to January 1, 2018, we also have donor's tax already, but the taxation it is based on graduated tax rates. So this one is based from Republic Act RA 8424 or the National Internal Revenue Code of 1997. Graduated tax rate po tayo. Dito sa graduated tax rate din, applicable lang yan sa mga relatives. Okay? Relatives. Kasi yung stranger na binanggit ko dati, okay, 30% ang taxation dyan sa mga strangers. Okay, so just to clarify. Now, remember there is a law which governs the imposition of tax in estate tax. The governing law in estate tax is the law, the statute in force at the time of death. Same rule applies in donor's tax. Donor's tax is not a property tax. It is imposed on the transfer of property by way of gift inter vivos. Diba sa estate tax, ang tinatax natin is the right to transmit the property to another person. Okay, that is the in essence the one that is being taxed. Dito naman, the transfer property gift. The donor's tax shall not apply unless and until there is a completed gift. Okay, so kung babalikan natin dito ang ating law on obligations and contracts, okay? Completed gift. The transfer property by gift is perfected, parang sa contract yan, from the moment the donor knows of the acceptance by the donee. Okay, it is completed by delivery. Ito yung sinasabing completed gift. Okay, if there is a requirement of delivery, it must be delivered. Pag hindi delivered yan, the donation is not completed. Therefore, donor's tax will not accrue. Okay, completed by delivery, either actually, kung required requirement yan is actual delivery, dapat actual delivery, or constructively. Remember yung rule on constructive delivery. Traditio symbolica, traditio brevi mano, traditio longa mano, okay, of the donated property to the donee. Thus, the law enforced at the time of the perfection, completion, at the time of the perfection or completion po yan of the donation, shall govern the imposition of the donor's tax. Okay, so this is the rule. Remember yung perfection of contracts sa law on contracts nyo and mga ganyan. Next. So notes, donation of removable property must be made in public document. So we're talking about the formalities here. So normally it's a deed of donation. And acceptance by donee may be made in the same deed or separate public document and should be done during the lifetime of the donor. Kasi kung hindi yan nagawa during lifetime of the donor, then there's no acceptance. Okay? Kasi nga, di ba sabi dyan, from the moment it is perfected, from the moment the donor knows of the acceptance. So kung patay na yung donor, hindi niya alam na inaccept mo yan. So therefore, the gift is not, or donation is not completed. Kaya it should be done during the lifetime of the donor. So if somebody gave you something, you accept. You say, I accept. Okay? So, isulat mo lang sa kahit anong papel yan. Okay? Then, that's sufficient compliance already. Okay? Now, question. The transfer property by gift is perfected from the moment the donor knows of the acceptance by the donee. That's the rule, the one that I've mentioned previously. The acceptance is considered to effectively bind the offerer only from the time it came to his knowledge. Anong tawag dyan? Okay, do we call this theory of cognition or theory of manifestation? Remember, I'm just merely reviewing your knowledge of the concepts also of the law on obligations and contracts. Okay, di ba sa contract, ayan yan, the moment the person knows the acceptance by the donee, we're talking about sa consent. So here, brothers and sisters, the answer of course is theory of cognition kasi dun niya nalaman. Okay? Now, what are the essential requisites of a donation? So there must be a capacity of the donor. So halimbawa, I am the donor. Let's say I have my properties total 2 million pesos. So pag yan ay donate ko yung 2 million pesos, bawal po yan sa batas natin. Although I have capacity to donate, well, hindi absolute ang capacity to donate because I cannot give everything to you. Bakit? How can I live? So, nabo-void ang donation dahil dyan. So, kung halimbawa 2 million lang lahat ng ari-arian ko, ang inaalaw lang ng batas, at least merong matira sa akin for my upbringing para mabuhay yung sarili ko. Kasi kung bibigay ko lahat, bawal. Okay? So, there must be a capacity of the donor. Okay? So, kung merong utang, sa katutak ang utang, walang capacity of the donor, void yung donation. Pwedeng ma-void yung donation. Diba? In your law on obligations, the remedy of the creditor in case of fraud by the debtor, pag halimbawa there was disposition of property by way of donation in order to avoid the payment of the obligation. So the remedy of the creditor is to rescind the contract entered into by the debtor with the other party. Okay? Kaya nga bawal yan kasi dapat merong capacity si donor. Okay, I'm just relating this rule para meron kayong deeper understanding why do we have this kind of rule. Okay? So there must be capacity, which means you cannot give something if you don't have capacity. Okay? Number 2, intention to donate. There must be intention to donate. Required only in direct donation. So halimbawa, this laptop of mine, HP Spectre, sabi ko, ibibigay ko sa ito, sa'yo na yan. That's actually an intention to donate. That is direct. Okay? Because I gave it to you. But not with indirect donation. Pag indirect donation, implied donation yan, okay, walang intention to donate yan. Yung example ko kanina is an example of a donation without intention to donate. Diba, ang value of the laptop is 100,000 and then I sold it only to you for 10,000. Did I say that I wanted to donate to you the laptop? Of course not. Because that was not my intention. My intention was to sell. You bought it. So the 90,000 is an implied donation. Okay? Bakit siya implied? Because I have no intention to donate in the first place. So that's the concept of number 2. And number 3, donative act. Actual or constructive. So if I want to donate something, actual act, halimbawa real property, execution of public instrument. Kaya nga halimbawa may magbibigay sa'yo ng bahay at lupa. Sabi niya sa'yo itong bahay at lupa, ay, pag ganyan, kumuha ka ng papel. Okay, papirmahan mo siya. Write it down and then ask the donor to have it notarized. Because the requirement in donation of removable, it must be in public instrument. Okay? So, tapos, if there's yung delivery, dapat ibigay niya. Okay? Except there's no delivery, hindi completed ang gift. Acceptance by the donee is a requirement. Sorry about the E, kasi talagang nag-auto-correct. Acceptance by the donee. Okay? That's one of the requirements. It must be accepted because if the donee does not accept, okay, there's no donation. Okay, so express po ang acceptance. Well, we have kinds of donations, inter vivos, donation between living individuals, and mortis causa, the one that we have discussed in estate tax. It takes effect upon the death of the donor. So in this case, it's the decedent. So inclusion or exclusion in gross gift. Location of property. If the property is located within the Philippines, for a resident citizen, non-resident citizen, and resident alien, we have to include it. For non-resident alien, include it also. Okay? Kasi within naman yan eh. So pag within yan, always include. Now, what if the property is located outside? It is included if the taxpayer donor is as an RC, NRC, or RA. But if it is a non-resident alien, of course, we have to exclude it. Why? Because we have no jurisdiction over the property being donated by the donor. So that's the rule. Note, rule of reciprocity on intangible personal property in estate tax applies in donation. Anong ibig sabihin nito? So halimbawa mga kapatid, we're talking about donation here. Yung napag-usapan natin ng rule in reciprocity on IPP in estate tax. Balikan natin. just for you to be able to refresh your memory. So halimbawa, maglagay tayo rito ng dalawang taxpayer. Si Trump, okay, si Trump. Meron siyang donation ng IPP. ng intangible personal property. Example ng intangible personal property, franchise which must be exercised in the Philippines. Shares, obligations, or bonds, di ba? Of a domestic corporation. SOB, shares, obligations, or bonds ng foreign corporation, but 85% of the business acquires it in the Philippines. Right? Ito yung mga intangible personal property. So example, merong franchise dito si Trump. Nag-donate siya ngayon. Value niyan is 1 million. Okay? Nag-donate siya. Whoever. Okay? Ang tanong, itatax ba natin tong donation na 1 million ni Trump na intangible personal property that is located within the Philippines? Ang sabi natin dyan, it depends. It depends saan? It depends kung paano itatax. Halimbawa, si Nicanor, meron din siyang IPP saan? Sa Amerika. Ito ha, nasa Pilipinas yung IPP ha. Ngayon, ito naman si Nicanor, meron siyang IPP sa US. Okay? How do we tax the 1 million donation by Trump? It depends on how the US will treat the donation of IPP by Nicanor in the US. So kung tinax nila yan, anong gagawin natin? Rule reciprocity. Ito tax din natin yung kay Trump. Kung in-exempt nila yan, i-exempt din natin. Okay? Paano kung walang batas? Kung walang batas sa Amerika about donation of IPP by non-residents, titignan natin ang ginawa nila. Walang batas pero tinax. Anong gagawin natin? Tax natin. Paano kung wala kang batas, tinax nila? Hindi nila tinax. Exempt din natin si Trump. That's the rule on reciprocity. Okay? Again, please be careful with the application of the rule on reciprocity because the author has different perspective on how rule in reciprocity is being applied. Okay? Kasi alam nila porque merong agreement between two states. Okay? So, ano daw, pag may reciprocity, except na agad, mali yun. Okay? Nature of donation, there is a transfer of properties, real, personal, tangible, intangible, directly or indirectly, interest or otherwise. The transfer is gratuitous, meaning without consideration. This is in direct opposition to onerous. The donation is made inter vivos during lifetime of the parties. Okay, mode of execution or formalities in donation. A real or immovable property, it is required. There's a required form. It must be executed in a public instrument. Okay, so yan yon. For personal property, this is the rule. If it's a tangible personal property, the value of which is 5,000 and below, okay, oral is allowed. Okay, so sa'yo na tong 5,000 ko. Okay, di sa'yo na yan. Okay, but what if the amount is more than 5,000 pesos? Of course, donation and acceptance should be in writing for its validity. We're talking about formalities here, the form. Okay? For intangible personal properties, execution of public instrument is required, meaning the paper should be notarized. Valuation of gross gift, brothers and sisters, the one that you have learned in estate tax applies also in donor's tax. Same rule. So for gross gift, general rule, the fair market value time of donation should apply. Okay, exception. If the real property is disposed, the zonal value or assessed value should be obtained, and then whichever is higher is the one that will be used as valuation. For shares of stock unlisted, book value. Okay, pag sinabi natin book value, stockholders' equity divided by outstanding shares po yan. Okay, what if the property that was donated is preferred shares? Of course, it's book par value. What if it is a listed share? General rule, fair market value at time of donation. So if the donation was made during days where there is trading, yun ang gagamitin natin value. Paano kung dinonate yan Saturday or Sunday or holiday when there is no trading? We will use the arithmetic mean between the highest and lowest quotation at the date nearest at the time of donation. Same with the estate. Okay? Remember, the application or the interpretation of the author, baligtad siya, arithmetic mean ang ginagamit niya dyan, which is wrong. Okay, so in gross gift, again, the same rule applies in the estate tax, the one that I have discussed to you. Club shares, bid price nearest the date of donation published in any newspaper or publication of general circulation, right to use of RAC, probable life of the beneficiary. Brothers and sisters, I hope you review your videos relative to valuation of gross estate, because I have shown to you, okay, the different valuations like real property, paano ba kinukuha yung zonal at saka yung assessed value sa assessor. Okay, including yung sa listed shares. How do you get that? Okay, and the club shares. So at least you will be familiar on how really to use the valuation requirement under our tax code, as of course amended. So transfers related to estate. Ito very interesting to, and you have to be very careful with this one. Okay, with donor's tax. Okay, transfers related to estate na merong donor's tax. Renunciation by the surviving spouse. Okay, nirenounce daw ng surviving spouse. Ano yung renounce niya? Conjugal partnership or absolute community na share niya. So yung share niya na 50,000, ayoko na yan, sa inyo na yan. Yan ang ibig sabihin dyan. After the dissolution of the marriage in favor of the heirs. Bakit na-dissolve yung marriage? Sorry. Patay na eh. Okay, relative to estate. Namatay yung asawa. So, dissolve na yung marriage. So, hahatiin na yung property. Okay? After the dissolution in favor of the heirs of the deceased spouse or any other person is subject to donor's tax. Very simple to. Pag ang halimbawa, ito yung buong property na namatay. Ito si husband. Ito si wife. Ang namatay si husband. Okay? Dito, sa property ni husband, kalahati dyan, assuming lang survivor. Is one child and one surviving spouse. So yung kalahati kay legitimate child, ang kalahati kay surviving spouse. Tama? Parang ganun siya eh. Yung rule on intestate share. So ito ngayon, itong share, conjugal share ni wife, pag yan ay kanyang denonate. Okay? Winive niya ang right niya on her share on the property, conjugal property, or absolute community na property, itong part na to, pag dinonate niya yan, subject sa donor's tax yan. Okay? Conjugal share ang tawag dito. Now, renunciation of distributive share. Renunciation of distributive share specifically and categorically done in favor of identified heirs to the exclusion or disadvantage of the other co-heirs in the hereditary estate. Ano naman to? So, halimbawa ulit, ito yung property. Okay? Na property ni Nicanor na buuin natin. Yung kalahati kay wife, yung kalahati kay husband. Tama ko ba? Ang rule sa number 1, pag dinonate ito ni wife, donor's tax yan. Ito yung tinatawag natin, di ba? Yan. Ito yung tinatawag nating distributive share din. Okay? Sa conjugal share, hindi subject sa estate tax to. Ito yung na subject sa estate tax, yung share ni husband. Now, paano paghahatiin yung share ni husband? So, halimbawa, mga kapatid, dalawang anak, tapos si Inday, yan ang mga survivor. Remember the rule on intestate share. The share of the surviving spouse is equal to the share of one child. So, kung dalawa yan, equal to one child, so ibig sabihin, equal silang tatlo. So, in this case, okay, itong distributive na to, na part, ang share na unang anak, na pangalawang anak, at saka ni wife, ayan, hati-hati sila. Okay? Yan ang distributive share nila sa property or estate ni Nicanor. Again, itong share ni wife na conjugal share, pag dinonate niya yan, donor's tax. Yung number 2, renunciation of distributive share, specifically and categorically done in favor of identified heirs to the exclusion or a disadvantage of the other co-heirs in the hereditary estate. Subject sa donor's tax yan. Example yan. Halimbawa, si wife, binigay niya yung share niya kay number 2 lang kasi paborito niya. Donor's tax yan. Bakit? Kasi ano yung winave niya? Distributive share lang niya. Okay? Now, papaano naman po kung halimbawa, si wife, binigyan niya si 1 kasi panganay. O kaya bunso. Ano pa rin yan? Donor's tax pa rin yan. Bakit? Hindi niya kasi binigyan si number 2. Exclusion, oh. Na disadvantage si number 2. Okay, papaano kung ganito naman po? Kasi maraming instance dito eh. Okay. What if number 1 will give to mommy? Sabi niya, mommy, sa'yo na lang share ko. Sabi rin, kung ganon, donor's tax yan. Bakit? Kasi hindi binigyan ni 1 si number 2. Na disadvantage si number 2. Co-heirs niya yung mga yan. Okay, papaano ko si number 2 rin? Ibinigay niya yung share niya kay number 1. Donor's tax din yan. Bakit? Co-heirs si mommy, hindi niya binigyan. Na disadvantage si mommy. So, donor's tax. So, what if si number 1 and number 2 magbibigay kay mommy? Donor's tax ba yan? Well, mamaya, bibigyan natin ang sagot yan. Supposedly, under the rules, donor's tax yan. Bakit? Binigyan ng yung share ni 1 kay mommy. Hindi nabigyan si 2. So, na-disadvantage yan. Donor's tax yan under the rule. Si number 2, binigyan niya yung share niya kay mommy. So, hindi niya nabigyan si number 1. Na-disadvantage si number 1. So, supposedly, donor's tax yan. But there is a CTA ruling. Okay? Feeling ko, mali talaga yung CTA doon in the application of the rules. But according to, there is an explanation for that which I will be sharing to you later. Okay? So, ito yung estate relative, transfers related to estate. Ito yung tinatawag na waiver of rights minsan po. Waiver of rights. Waiver of rights. So, meaning, a person or a beneficiary may waive his or her share in the estate. So, ayoko nang tanggapin yan. Sa'yo na to. Yun ang mga waiver. Ang waiver na yan ay mga renunciations. Kasi ayaw mo na eh. Okay? I'm just trying to explain this one para at least you would know the impact of this one as far as the application of the rules are concerned. Huwag kayong mag-alala kasi meron tayong mga exercises later. Now, let's go to the next example. This is a waiver, okay, without donor's tax. Meaning, this one is a general renunciation by an heir, including the surviving spouse of his or her distributable share in the hereditary estate left by the decedent. It is not subject to donor's tax. So, yung example kanina, ulit, para maliwanag. Property to ni Kanor na namatay. Siya namatay. Conjugal share ni wife yan. Ito, paghahatian to ni unang anak, pangalawang anak, at saka ni surviving spouse. Okay? Ito yung distributive share niya. So, pag binigay ni wife yung kanyang share kay 1, donor's tax. Kasi hindi binigyan si 2. Right? Pag binigay ni wife yung property niya kay 2 lamang, donor's tax din. Bakit? Kasi hindi niya binigyan si 1 to the exclusion or disadvantage of the other co-heir. Now, what if the wife will give her share, distributive share to 1 and 2? Ay, kung yan ang usapan, ang tawag dyan, general renunciation. Okay? Ng ano? Distributive share. So, therefore, it is exempted from donor's tax. So, that's the difference. Okay? So, let's go now to the exercises para at least you would know. So, renunciations and waiver of rights. Illustration number 1, one spouse, one child. So, after filing of the estate tax return, it was computed that the distributable estate of Nicanor amounted to 10 million. Pag sinabing distributable estate, kumbaga, neto na po ito. Net distributable estate. Okay? Yung ginagawa natin dati. Kumbaga, bawas na rito yung mga funeral expense, judicial expenses, and estate taxes. Bayad na lahat ang utang. Paghahati-hatian ng mga property, ng mga kaanak to. So, after filing of the estate tax return, it was computed that the distributable estate of Nicanor amounted to 10 million. the intestate share of Inday in accordance with the provisions of the new Civil Code of the Philippines is equivalent to 75%. Paano nakuha yung 75? Yung 50% kasi, share niya yan, conjugal share. Yung 25% naman, intestate share. Bakit? Yung intestate share kasi, remember, ang rule, the share of the wife is equivalent to the share of the child. Okay? Intestate share ang tawag natin doon kasi walang will. So, ang share lang ni Junior ay 25%. So, paano natin ginawa yan? Ito po yan. So, halimbawa, ito yung 10 million. Ito yung 10 million na buo. Okay? Na net na. Okay? Yung kalahati, hahatiin natin. Ito yan, conjugal share. Ito yung conjugal share, 5 million. Kanino yan? Sino nagmamayari niyan? Eh di si wife. Okay? Si Inday ang may-ari ng conjugal share. Ito yung tinatawag nating distributive share. Sino may-ari niyan? Si Inday at saka si Junior. Magkano yung balance? 5 million. So magkano yung share ni Inday at saka ni Junior? Happy sila. Okay? So 2.5 million, 2.5 million. Kaya ang share ni Inday is equivalent to 75% while the share of Nicanor's son is 25% only. So dito, 5 million plus 2.5, 7.5 million. For Junior, only 2.5 million. Okay? Now, apply natin yung rule kanina. Scenario 1, Inday renounces, waives her right to the conjugal share in favor of Junior. Ano yung binibigay niya? Ano yung binibigay ni Inday? Eto, yung kanyang 5 million conjugal share eh. So, anong sabi natin pag if the conjugal share has been donated, it is subject to donor's tax. So, gross gift, 5 million. Less 250 gift, 4,750 times 6%, that is the donor's tax. Note, donation of conjugal share is taxable. Huwag niyong kakalimutan po yan. Okay? So, titignan natin sino yung nag-donate at saka kung ano yung kanyang donate para hindi tayo magkamali dito. Okay? Let's go to scenario 2. Inday renounces, waives her right to the distributive share in favor of Junior. So, yung 2.5 million, ibinigay niya kay Junior na anak. Anong sabi natin? If the distributive share has been donated to a co-heir, eh isang anak lang siya, walang na-disadvantage. Walang excluded sapagkat nag-iisa lang anak. So, lahat ng share niya sa distributive share, pag binigay sa kanyang anak na si Junior, exempted po yan. Okay, note, donation of distributive share to one co-heir is exempt. Kung dalawa yan, ibang usapan yan kasi excluded yung isa. Therefore, subject to donor's tax. Okay? Scenario 3, Inday renounces, waives all her rights to the property in favor of Junior. So, yung 75%, sabi niya, anak, sa'yo na po yan. Okay, para yan ay maging ala-ala ng ng iyong tatay sa iyo. Okay? Anong sabi natin? Ang conjugal share ang taxable. Yung distributive share exempted. Kaya nga po, ang nandito 5 million lang. Okay, conjugal share 5 million minus 250, 4,750,000 times 6%. Donor's tax 285. Why? Because the conjugal share was the one that was donated. Eh ano na yung distributive share? Isa lang, since isa lang ang co-heir, exempted yan. Okay? You have to really understand this one because ito ay talagang very common to in estate and donation. Okay? Scenario number 4. Junior renounces, waives his right to the distributive share in favor of his mom Inday. So, siya naman ang nagbigay, mami, yung share ko sa'yo na lang. Kasi total, maganda naman yung trabaho ko, naging CPA ako. Pinag-aral niyo ako sa FEU, naging CPA ako, naging CIA. Gumanda ang aking buhay. Okay? Since kayong pinundar niyo yung mami at daddy yung property, sa inyo na po yan, mami, yung share ko dyan. Anong winave ni Junior? Distributive share niya. Ilan yung, since ang co-heir lang niya, si mami, exempted po yan. Donor's tax is exempted. Okay, the donation is exempted. Let's go to illustration number 2. One spouse plus 2 children or more. Okay, kasi merong may exclude dito kung sakasakali. Again, if one is excluded, or there is someone who was disadvantaged as a result of the renunciation or waiver, then it is subject to donor's tax or may be subjected to donor's tax kasi may exception. Okay, so after filing of the estate tax return, it was computed that the distributable estate of Nicanor 10 million. The intestate share of Inday in accordance with the provisions of the new civil code is equivalent to 62.5. Okay? Saan galing yan? 50% conjugal share, 12.5 distributable share. And the share of 3 children, Junior, Nick, and Nikki, is 12.5% each. So, ito yung buong 10 million. Drawing lang natin para sa ating simpleng kaalaman. So, yung 10 million na yan, nahatiin sa dalawa. Bakit? Conjugal kasi. So, itong 5 million na to na conjugal share, ang nagmamay-ari lang yan si Inday, si Mami. Yung 5 million na hindi conjugal share, yan ay tinatawag na distributive share na paghahati-hatian ng mga tagapagmana ni Nicanor. Sino tagapagmana ni Nicanor? Inday, si Junior, si Nick, and Nikki. So, the 5 million pesos will be divided according to the share of the heirs under the civil code. Anong sabi natin pag merong dalawa or more anak, the share of the spouse is equivalent to the share of one child. So ang nangyari parang divided by 4 lamang 'yan. Kasi kung anong share ni Junior, yun din ang share ni Inday eh. So 1 is yan. So 1 so divided by 4 ang 5 million. So each will get 1,250,000, equivalent to 12.5%. Okay, so ang total share ni Inday ngayon, 5 million plus 1,250, 6,250,000. Tapos yung tatlong anak, tigo 1,250, total 10 million. Okay, let's apply the rule. Scenario 1, Inday renounces, waives her right to the conjugal share in favor of all her children. Conjugal ang kanyang binigay. Kahit na all her children pa yan, wala tayong pakialam. Bakit? Ano po kasi yung denominate? Conjugal share eh. Di ba sabi natin, pag conjugal share yan, it is taxable. Okay? Kahit walang na-exclude, kahit walang disadvantage from among the children, it is subject to donor's tax because the object of taxation is the conjugal share. So 5 million minus 250,000 for 750 times 6%, donor's tax due 285,000. Note, even if all benefited and no one with disadvantage, still it is subject to donor's tax because the object of taxation is conjugal share. Okay? Now, scenario number 2. Inday renounces, waives her right to the conjugal share in favor of one child only. So yung, yeah, correct. Inday renounces, waives her right to the conjugal share. Binigay lamang kanina yung conjugal share binigay sa lahat ng anak. Ngayon, ang kanyang conjugal share binigay lamang sa isang anak. Subject ba yan sa donor's tax? Oo. Bakit? Conjugal share eh. Okay? Huwag mo sasabihin na subject yan sa donor's tax kasi isa lang pinagbigyan. Mali. Kasi yan ay subject sa donor's tax because the object of taxation is the conjugal share. Okay, whether or not it was given to all or a specific person na co-heir. Okay, so it's 5 million minus 250 for 750 times 6%, 285,000. Okay, scenario number 3. Inday renounces, waives her right to the distributive share. Oh, binibigay, distributive share naman. Lahat ng anak binigyan, walang lamangan, therefore exempted. Okay, note, the object of taxation is distributive share. Since all children benefited and no one was disadvantaged, the donation is exempted. Okay? This is very important, brothers and sisters. And I hope you will find time on how you can really understand these concepts and apply them in reality. Okay? Kasi maraming awayan dyan kung magkano ba yung mga sharing dyan. Kaya nga, you know, even if the intestate share is not really legitimate on how to compute the share of the compulsory heirs. Even if it's not part of the CPA syllabus, I find time to actually teach you that because This is really what's happening in reality. Para malaman ninyo paano makino-compute at saka kung magkano makukuha. Okay? Let's go to the next one. Scenario number 4. Indai renounces, waives her right to the distributive share in favor of one child. Mga kapatid, I used the word used in the law. Ito naman ang ginagamit sa reality. Ang ginagamit na term is waiver of rights. Okay? Para at least alam niyo lang. Indai renounces, waives her right to the distributive share in favor of one child. So yung 1 to 50 niya, anong mangyayari? Taxable ba yan? Opo. Bakit? In favor of one child. Binigyan lang niya si Junior. Hindi niya binigyan si Nick at saka si Nikki. Disadvantage yung dalawa. Excluded yung dalawa. Therefore, taxable yan. Okay? So, gross gift 1,250 minus 250 exempt gift 1, sorry, this is 1 million. Okay, so times 6%, 60,000. Okay? Next. Scenario number 5. Indai renounces, waives all her rights to the property in favor of all her children. So, yung conjugal share at saka yung distributive share, binigay na niya sa mga anak niya. Siguro dahil matanda na siya. Okay? Para hindi na mag-transfer ulit upon her death. So, anong mangyayari dyan? Anong sabi natin? Since all her children to, anong winave niya? Dalawang type of property, conjugal share at saka distributive share. Anong sabi natin sa conjugal share? Taxable donation. Yung distributive share, depende. Kung yan ay lahat binigyan, exempted. Kung namili lamang, taxable. Okay, kaya dito, ang computation natin, 5 million only the conjugal share. Yung distributive share, hindi natin sinama kasi lahat naman ng anak ay pinamanahan. Okay, or binigyan ng share sa donation. So, gross gift, 5 million minus 250 for 750 times 6%, 285,000. Okay, note, the objects of taxation are conjugal and distributive. In conjugal, it is subject to dollar tax regardless if all other co-heirs benefit equally or not. In distributive share, the transfer is exempt since all co-heirs benefited and no one was disadvantaged. Scenario number 6. Indai renounces, waives all her rights to property in favor of one child. Pinaka-paborito, malamang ito yung nag-alaga sa kanya. Since ang dalawa ang object of taxation, conjugal and distributive yan. Itong conjugal, itatax natin. Itong distributive, itatax din natin. Bakit? Kasi in favor of one child only to the detriment of the other co-heirs. Okay? So, merong excluded, merong disadvantage si Nick at saka si Nikki. Therefore, it is subject to donor's tax. Kaya nga dito, total 6,250,000. 5 million conjugal, 1,250,000 for the distributive share. Total 6,250,000 less 250,000 except gift. Net gift 6 million times 6%, 360,000. That's the donor's tax. Okay? So, the objects of taxation are conjugal and distributive. In conjugal, it is subject to donor's tax, regardless if all other co-heirs benefited or not. In distributive share, the transfer is taxable because it is specific to one child to the disadvantage of other co-heirs. Scenario number 7. Indai, Nick and Nikki renounces, waives all their rights to the property in favor of Junior. Binigay nila kay Junior kasi isang ala-ala sa pangalan. Since kapangalan niya si Nicanor. Kamukha, bunso, pagpakaburito ng lahat ng pamilya. Sabi, sa'yo na lang lahat yung property na to. So, yung kay Inday, binigay niya. Okay? Conjugal and distributive. So, 6,250,000. Share ni Nicanor, ni Nick, 1,250. Share ni Nick, 1,250. Okay? So, less exempt gift, bawat isa, 250,000. So, net gift dito, 6 million, 1,250. 1,250 times 6%, times 6%, 6%, 360, 60,000, 60,000. Okay, note, the transfer is taxable because it is specific to one co-heir to the disadvantage of other co-heirs. Okay? So, itong mga to, yung mga example ko na to, ay nangyayari sa tunay na buhay. And you cannot find these examples actually in any other textbook. That's why I'm trying to, because this is really important. Okay, let's go to scenario number 8. This is the last scenario. Junior, Nick, and Nikki renounces, waives all their rights to the property in favor of their mother-in-law. Okay, kanina dito, binigay lahat nila sa bunsong o panganay na anak na si Junior. Taxable siya. Pero dito, yung lahat ng magkakapatid, they renounced, they waived all their rights to the property, meaning that their distributive share. Okay? Now, the answer is, it is exempt from donor's tax, even if Junior gave his share to the detriment or exclusion of Nick and Nikki. Binigay ni Nick ang kanyang share, hindi binigyan si Nick at saka si Junior. Binigay din ni Nikki ang kanyang property without giving Junior or Nick. So therefore, may exclusion, merong disadvantage dyan. Pero ito daw ay exempted sa donor's tax. Bakit? Ito po yan. Renunciation to the detriment of the other co-heirs is taxable under the rules. That's the one yung explain ko sa inyo. However, the CTA in CTA case 6747 dated January 16, 2006, the court ruled that the act of some heirs on waiving their rights to the part of the estate is considered an act of repudiation. The Legal Heirs Act of Repudiation, yung hindi tinanggap, ayaw nila, took away their right to inherit. Thus, any part of the estate was never theirs. So halimbawa, from Nicanor, magmamana sana, hindi tinanggap. Hindi raw sa kanila yon, sabi ng CTA. Such repudiation, therefore, could not be considered as a donation. Bakit? Hindi nga sa kanila, paano nila mabibigay yan? Parang it's like, I cannot give something which I do not own. Hindi sa akin yan kasi nga ayoko eh. So moreover, in legal succession, the share who repudiates the inheritance shall always accrue to his co-heirs. Okay, yun ang sinabi ng CTA. Actually, itong example ko na to, parehas yung scenario 7 at saka scenario 8. Isa lang din ang pinagbigyan nila. Pero dito kasi sa scenario 8, yun sa CTA ruling, ang pinagbigyan ng mga kamag-anak ay yung nanay nila. Okay, maybe yung batas natin, in the interpretation by the CTA, they look at the plight of the mother. So that's why there was a ruling that it is exempted. Okay, but again, the rule, supposedly, if one co-heir is disadvantaged and the object of donation is the distributive share, it should be subjected to donor's tax. Okay. Transfer for less than adequate and full consideration. Okay, ito yung paborito nyo. With donor's tax, where property, kahit anong property, basta hindi real property, classified as capital asset. Okay, ibig sabihin, hindi ito yung bahay lupa. Pag sinabi natin capital asset, not used in business, not held for sale, not part of the inventory, there is no allowance for depreciation. But in this case, it's a real property classified as capital asset. So example ng capital asset, yung mga bahay at lupa ninyo, okay, is transferred for less than an adequate and full consideration in money or money's worth, the amount by which the fair market value of the property transferred exceeded the value of the consideration received for such transfer shall, for purpose of donor's tax, be deemed a gift and included in computing the amount of gifts made during the year. Okay? So, kung ikaw lang magbabasa niyan, talagang medyo malilito ka. Pero, huwag kayong mag-alala because later I will give sufficient explanations and examples on how you can fully grasp the provision. This is an example of a donor's tax, transfer for less than adequate and full consideration. Okay? Dito, binenta mo transfer mo yung isang property, sobrang baba. Okay, nang tinanggap mong pera. Okay? Dito yung merong donor's tax. Ito naman, nag-transfer ka din for less than an adequate full consideration, pero walang donor's tax. Ano pong pagkakaiba? Ito yan. So, without donor's tax, object of donation is a real property classified as capital asset. Okay, walang donation dyan. Diba? Ito yan, no? With donor's tax, where property other than real property classified as capital asset. Sabi dyan, lahat ng property basta hindi real property na classified as capital asset, subject donor's tax yan. So, exception yung kanina. So, walang donor's tax to. But if the object of donation is a real property classified as capital asset, kahit binenta mo na mas mababa ang halaga yan, walang donor's tax. Okay? Bakit walang donor's tax? Kasi, ito kasi ay subject sa capital gains tax. Anong ibig sabihin ng capital gains tax? Ito yung final tax on the sale of real property classified as capital asset. O yung first sem nyo sa income tax. May example, yung bahay at lupa, binenta mo ng selling price 1 million. Zonal value 10 million. Assessed value 5 million. Ang rule dyan, kung alin ang pinakamalaki, itatax natin ng 6%. Binenta mo lang ng 1 million. Tapos ang zonal value niya 10 million. Ano ka ba? Hilo ka ba? 10 million na value, bibenta mo selling price. Yan ay tinatawag na transfer for less than adequate and full consideration. Diba? Transfer for insufficient consideration sa madaling salita. Biro mo, bibenta mo ng 10 million, 1 million lang yan. I mean, binenta mo ng 1 million, 10 million yan. So, sabi ng batas natin, okay lang yan. Bakit? Kasi, kahit na 1 million mong ibenta, sabi ng batas natin, okay lang yan. Kasi ito naman ang magiging basis ng tax. So, nalugi ba ang gobyerno kahit binenta lang ng 1 million yan? Hindi. Bakit? The basis of the capital gains tax is still the highest of the selling price, zonal value, or assessed value. So, ang binayaran pa ring tax ay 600,000, 6%. So, hindi lugi ang gobyerno. So, kung hindi lugi ang gobyerno, walang donor's tax dyan. Yan ang sinasabi dyan. Clear? I hope this is very clear because this is very important. Okay, next. If the sale, exchange, or other transfer of property is even for an insufficient consideration, the same will still be considered made for adequate and full consideration, provided that such transfer is made in the ordinary course of business. That is, bona fide transaction niya. Totoo talaga yan. Walang dayaang nangyari. May bentahan na ganap. At arm's length, as if parang ordinary sale yan. Walang donative intent. Kasi nga pag mayroong donative intent, mayroong exposure sa donor's tax. Okay? So, anong example po dito? Ganito po yan. If such transfer is made in the ordinary course of business, binenta sa mababang halaga. So, halimbawa, itong aking laptop. Okay? Magkano nga yung fair market value ng aking laptop? HP Spectre, 100,000. Okay? Papaano kung ito ay ibebenta ko lamang sa inyo? Kasi nakakaawa kayo ang mga laptop nyo, mga bulok, de joke lang. Okay, 10,000. Okay, meron ba akong donative intent dyan? Wala. Binenta ko yan. Okay? Ngayon, ang tanong, itong 90,000 ba ay yan ay implied donation. Implied donation po yan. Correct yan. Bakit? Value 100,000. Binenta ko 10,000. So parang dinonate ko lang yung 90,000. Pero tanong, itong 90,000, ito ba ay subject sa donor's tax? It depends. Saan? Kung anong klaseng tao ako. Okay? Anong ibig ko sabihin? Ako ba ay may business? Ordinary course of business. Am I a seller? Or am I engaged in trader business? Am I a seller of laptop? If the answer is yes, pasok tayo dyan. Ordinary course of business eh. Totoong transaction na binenta ko sa inyo yan. Arm's length yan. Wala naman akong intention to donate. Therefore, exempted yan sa donor's tax. Pero kung papaano ako ay inyong teacher lamang o kamag-anak na hindi naman ako talaga nagbi-business. Binenta ko yung laptop ko na to kasi naawa ako sa inyo. Kasi stress na kayo. Okay? Sabi mag-exam daw tapos prank lang pala. So na-stress kayo. So naawa ako. Sabi ko, sige, itong laptop na to, 100,000 to, bilhin mo na lang 10,000. Okay, since I am not engaged in trade or business, the 90,000 is an implied donation subject to donor's tax. Bakit? Ito yan, oh. Siya yung number 1. Isang property na hindi naman lupa, bahay at lupa na capital asset. Binenta ko sa mababang halaga. Okay? Yung diferensya, the amount by which the fair market value, yung 100,000 na fair market value. Okay? The amount of which value transferred exceeded the value of the consideration. Magkano yung consideration? 10,000. Shall for purposes of donor's tax be deemed a gift. Yung 90,000 na difference, deemed gift daw yan and included in computing the amount of gifts made during the year. Okay, so titignan natin kung meron ba akong business o wala. Clear? Kasi kung meron akong business, tapos na-comply ko yung bona fide transaction, totoo talaga siya, arm's length talaga yan, walang donated intent yan, exempted yan. Okay? So, dito tayo. Exercises, donor's tax, yes or no? Sale of house and lot by an owner where the selling price is 2 million. Binenta lamang, sale of house to house and lot. 2 million daw, zonal value 5 million, assessed value 3 million. Sabi ng appraiser 10 million. Okay, pero binenta. Tingnan nyo binenta lamang ng 2 million. Magkano zonal value? 5M. Assessed value 3M. Tapos sabi ng appraiser 10 million yan, oy. Pero binenta lang ng 2 million. Tanong, yung 2 million ba na mababang binenta sa mababang halaga, diferensya ng fair market value, zonal value lang. Kasi yun ang mas mataas to compared sa assessed value ng 3 million. So, yung 3 million ba, yan ba ay transfer, is it a transfer for insufficient consideration? Answer, yes. Okay, is it a blind donation? Yes. Now, is it subject to donor's tax? Anong sabi natin? Kung ang real property ay capital asset, hindi yan subject. So, the answer is no. Okay, bakit hindi subject sa donor's tax? Kasi, kahit na 2 million lang ibenta yan, sabi ng gobyerno, wala kaming pakialam kasi zonal value kami tsaka assessed. Kung alin na mas mataas dyan, yan ang gagamitin natin. So, since ito pa lang pinakamataas, times 6%, 300,000 pa rin ang babayaran. Itong appraisal valuation, wala namang pakialam ang biyayar dyan. Kasi it's not part of the valuation under the rules. Okay? Now, let's go to number 2. Sale of house and lot by a realtor. Wow! Business niya talaga magbenta ng bahay at lupa. Binenta lang niya ng 2 million. Zonal value 5 million. Assessed value 3 million. Tapos sabi ng appraiser 10 million. Tanong, donor's tax, yes or no? Ano sabi natin? Pag merong business, kahit na mababa yan, okay lang kung yan ay bona fide sale, arm's length transaction, at saka no donative intent. From the looks of it, under number 2, complied with lahat yan. So, walang donor's tax po dyan. Let's go to number 3. Sale of cellphone by a cellphone company. Wow, business, may business siya. So, dapat meron tayong ganyan. Meron tayong mga clues. Okay? Where the selling price is 10,000. Binenta niya value ng cellphone, 20,000. May donor's tax? Okay? Ang sagot natin, wala. Bakit? Meron siyang business Arm's length yan, bona fide yan. Okay, wala naman donative intent. So, okay lang. Number 4, sale of cell phone by an employee where the selling price is 10,000, value 20,000. Binenta niya ng palugi. So, therefore, the excess is subject to donor's tax. Okay, so that's the concept of transfer for less than adequate and full consideration. Yan ang tinatawag nating simply stated, transfer for insufficient consideration. Okay? So, except donations under special laws, may mga batas, sabi ng batas natin ng mga batas. So, Aquaculture Department of Southeast Asia Fisheries Development Center of the Philippines. Okay? Development Academy of the Philippines. Donations in accordance with RA 9003, Ecological Solid Waste Management Act of 2000, donations to the Pollution Adjudication Board, Integrated Bar of the Philippines, IRI, International Rice Research Institute, Intramuros Administration, Museum of Philippine Customs, National Commission on Indigenous People, National Health Insurance, National Social Action Council, Philippine American Cultural Foundation, Philippine Inventors Commission, Ramon Magsaysay Award Foundation, Southern Philippines Development Administration, and pinaka-mainit pa siguro, last month lang yata to, Magna Carta for the Poor. If somebody donated, which is related to the National Poverty Reduction Plan, okay, that is exempted under donor's tax. Ito naman, pag-usapan natin, very recent lang din to. Exempt donations under Bayanihan to Heal as One Act. Okay? If you donated to the national government or any entity, okay, created by any of its agencies, including public hospitals, which is not conducted for profit, okay, so mga public hospital to, or any political subdivision. Pag sinabing any political subdivision, ito yung mga province, ito yung mga city, ito yung mga municipality and the barangay. We call that political subdivisions, territorial and political subdivisions of the country. Okay? Including fully owned government corporations. Pag nag-donate ka sa gobyerno, number 1, or pag nag-donate ka sa accredited non-stock, pag sinabing accredited, ang nag-accredit niyan, ito yung PCNC, Philippine Council for NGO Certification, Inc. Okay? Sila yung nag-accredit. Pag in-accredit ka nila, non-stock, non-profit ka, donor institution ka, pwede ka ma-exempt sa donor's tax. Okay? So, if the donation was made to accredited non-stock, non-profit, ito yung mga NGO normally, mga foundation, okay? Yan ay exempted, exempt donations. Sino pa itong pinagbigyan mo na yan? Ito yung ating mnemonic. Okay, charitable, cultural, religious, at saka research institution or organization, educational, social welfare, trust organization, and philanthropic organizations. Okay? yung TP na wala, pero anyway, kaya nyo na yan. Okay? Example ng accredited non-stock non-profit, charitable. Meron tayong tinatawag dyan na Caritas Manila. Okay? Yung mga religious, ito yung sa halimbawa sa Catholic Bishops Conference of the Philippines. Educational, naku, napakarami niyan. Okay? Cultural, wala akong, dito na lang tayo, social welfare, napakarami nito. Mga bantay bata, bantay matanda, Kapuso Foundation, pag dyan ka nag-donate, except donation yan. Okay? Tignan po natin yung kasunod. Nag-donate ikaw sa private hospital and or non-stock non-profit educational. Private ito ha, kanina public hospital yung number 1. And or charitable, religious, cultural, social welfare institution, foundation, NGO, even if not accredited. Ito kasi yung kanina, yung number 2, accredited. Accredited yung number 2. Tapos dito, including public hospital. Dito, private. Private, pagkatapos, hindi accredited na NGO. Pwede pa rin siya ma-exempt ang donation. Okay, meron lang separate rule. Number 4, local private corporations. Okay, kasi during pandemic to Bayanihan to Heal as One Act. Local private corporations, civic organizations, and or international organizations or institutions, provided that they shall, ito yung requirement, dapat actually directly and exclusively distribute and or transfer said donations or gifts to, okay, or nakipag-partner sila as conduit logistical machinery with accredited NGOs and or national government or any entity created by any of its agencies which is not conducted for profit or any political subdivision. Example, ito kasi medyo malupit dito. Okay? So halimbawa, ABC Corp. Tapos XYZ Corp. Okay? Ito ang donor. Donor. Ito yung donee. Gustong mag-donate dito, kaya lang walang sasakyan. Anong nangyari? Si GHI Corp. Halimbawa, siya yung may-ari ng Grab. Or siya yung may-ari ng Lalamove. Or JT Express. So, nakipag-tie up siya dyan. Tie up siya. Okay? Para siya mag-deliver doon. So, yung donation dito, at saka ito na nakipag-partner, exempted din sa donor's tax under Bayanihan to Heal as One Act. Okay? Conduit logistical machinery. Okay? Now, ano ba yung mga i-donate dapat para ma-exempt? Pag nag-donate ng cash or donations of all critical or needed healthcare equipment or supplies in combating COVID, relief goods such as but not limited to food packs, rice, food packs, rice, canned goods, noodles, etc. and water. Okay? So, kasama dyan yung mga banig, mga kulambo, kasi mga relief goods naman yan eh. Number 4, use of property, whether real or personal, shuttle service, use of lots or buildings. Yan ang mga exempt donations. Okay, kanino? Exempt ang donation pag binigay mo kay number 1, kay gobyerno. Number 2, accredited NGO. Number 3, private hospital or an accredited NGO. Number 4, ito yung local private corporation na nakipag-conduit din sa isang logistical company. Anong pinamigay ng mga yan? Cash. All critical or needed healthcare equipment. Ito yung mga PPE. Okay, mga ventilators o yung mga booth. Relief goods at saka use of property, 'di ba? Ito very common to. And this was exemplified by Vice President Leni Robredo. Ang daming nakipag-partner sa kanya, pinagamit ang kanilang mga bus, ang kanilang mga motels, ang kanilang mga hotels. Nangyari din ito sa Pasig, sa Quezon City and Manila. Okay, yung mga owners ng hotels and motels, they allowed the frontliners to live in their facilities for free. So yan ay isang uri ng donation na exempted under Bayanihan to Heal as One Act. Okay? So we're talking about donations here. Exemptions strictly construed against the taxpayer. So kung iba ang dinonate mo, magiging taxable yan. Okay? Pero pwede pa rin ma-exempt yan, but not under Bayanihan to Heal as One Act. Okay? Kasi nga, ang general donation is, pag yan ay donation to government, okay, yan ay, tsaka sa accredited NGO, exempted. Ito naman, exempt donations under Bayanihan to Recover as One Act. Okay? Coverage, all donations of personal computers, laptops, tablets, or similar equipment, mobile phone or printer for use in teaching and learning. Saan? Kanino? Public schools. Pero meron limit. September 15 to December 19, 2020. Exempted yan. Okay? The value shall be used is the actual acquisition cost. Yan ang magiging gross gift natin. Okay? If used na yan, kung used na yan, depreciated value gagamitin. So meaning, carrying value or net book value. Okay? Except gift by RC, NRC, RA, or NRA. Ito na yung mga general rules. Okay? Exempted ito if the gifts were made to or for the use of national government or any agency not conducted for profit or political subdivision. Ito na yung pinaka-rule. Nagsimula kasi tayo sa exception. Pag ikaw din ay nagbigay ng gift sa mga ito, non-profit organization, na non-stock non-profit, nagbabayad ng dividends, governed by trustees with no compensation. So meaning, pag meron ng compensation, tumatanggap na ng sweldo, yung mga trustee, taxable na yan. Okay? So, and devoting all income to the accomplishment of the purpose. So halimbawa, yung isang NGO, Bantay Bata. Okay? So sa mga bata lang yan. So kung halimbawa, yung all income yan, dapat gagamitin for the bata. Hindi pwedeng gamitin sa matanda yan. Why? Because they have the purpose to help the children. Okay? So example na yung mga yan, yung CC-CREST natin kanina, educational, charitable, religious, cultural, social welfare, trust, or philanthropic organization, research institution, and accredited NGO. Okay? Pag nagbigay ka sa mga yan, exempted yan. Papaano kung hindi ka nagbigay sa mga ganito? Pag hindi ka nagbigay sa number 1 and number 2, yung sa income tax natin, okay, i-relate ko lang to. Pag nagbigay ka dito, tsaka dito, exempt ka sa donor's tax. Ngayon, papaano for income tax purposes? Kasi hindi natin natapos yung syllabus ng income tax dati eh. For income tax purposes, you can claim as deduction the donation. Okay? Pag nagbigay ka sa number 1, national government, number 2, accredited NGO, 100% na binigay mo, dinonate mo, deduction yan. Okay? As part of your deductions from the gross income. Okay? Now, paano kung hindi mo yan binigay sa gobyerno o kaya hindi accredited? So, papasok tayo sa limitation. Ano yung limitation? Pag ikaw ay individual, ang rate dyan ay 10% of taxable income before donation. Kung ikaw ay corporation, ang limitation is 5% of taxable income. So mga kapatid, please go back to your textbook on income tax at aralin mo yung deduction relative to charitable and other contribution na section for you to be able to understand what I'm saying. Okay, I cannot delve more on this topic because our focus is really donor's tax only. Okay, next. Tax credits for donor's tax paid to a foreign country. Ito yung paborito ninyo sa estate tax. Right? So, meron din ganito sa donor's tax. Ano po yan? Tax credits can be claimed only on foreign tax payments. Can be claimed only by donors, those whose gifts are taxable, okay, even if made outside the Philippines. So whether within or outside the Philippines, if there was donation, covered ito kanino? Pag resident citizens, non-resident citizens, at saka resident aliens. Same with estate tax. Okay? The allowed creditable donor's tax paid to a foreign country shall be subject to limit similar to the limitations in the foreign tax credit in income taxation and estate tax. Ito yung pinag-usapan natin. Ito kasi hindi natin inabutan yan because of COVID. But regardless, kahit hindi natin inabutan yung income tax, ito master na natin. Tapos meron pang donor's tax. Mas lalo na nating mamasterin. Anyway, magbibigay tayo ng example. Okay, so ito yung example natin. This is actually the same with our discussion on estate tax. Okay, estate tax po yan. So, well, estate tax to, pero sorry, dapat meron niyang donor's tax din applicable. Okay, so limit A, only one foreign country, compute the limit, get the actual tax paid in foreign country, get the lower amounts. Limit B, more than foreign country. Compute the limit A per foreign country, compute limit B, and then get the lower amount. So, anong formula? Net gift, foreign country over net gift world times Philippine donor's tax. That is the limit. Versus actual paid, foreign country. So, actual. So, kunin mo yung mas mababa sa dalawa. Yung lower ang allowable here. Okay? So, katulad dito ng estate tax na sinasabi ko sa inyo. Okay, more than one foreign country. Okay, net gift all foreign countries, net gift world times Philippine donor's tax ay na limit. Pero kukunin pa rin natin yung per foreign country. Ito yung sinasabi, step 1. Yung nandito. And then actual tax paid foreign country, actual, and then ayan, lower amount, limit B. Okay, not yet allowable. Bakit? Kasi itong limit B na to, i-compare pa natin dito sa tig-isa. So, ito yung example para mas maliwanagan tayo. Illustration of tax credit, one foreign country. Same actually ng example natin to sa estate tax. Nicanor, a Filipino citizen residing in N. Reyes Street, Sampaloc, Manila, made the following donation. Net gift in the Philippines, 10 million. Gross gift less deductions. Net gift na yan kasi yan eh. So, net gift less deductions. In-highlight ko lang yan. Net gift in Singapore, 5 million. Donor's tax paid in Singapore, 1 million. As a CPA, he asks you to compute the following. The allowable tax credit, donor's tax payable. Ano nga yung formula natin? Net gift, foreign country, divided by net gift, world. Magkano yung net gift world? Philippines and Singapore, 15 million. Kaya nga ito, net gift in Singapore, 5 million over 15 million times Philippine donor's tax due. Paano ba yung Philippine donor's tax due? Okay, sorry, hindi to estate donation yan, donor's tax. Okay, 15 million minus 250,000 times 6%. So 885. So i-compute natin ang allowable tax credit. So 5 million over 15 million times 885, ito, ayun. Okay? So ang limit lang natin, 295. Magkano yung actual na binayaran? Ayun, 1 million. 1 million. Alin na mas mababa? 295 lang. So yung 295 ang ating deduction. So yung total donor's tax payable natin, 590,000 pesos. Okay? Same with the estate tax, mga kapatid. You have to master this one because this is purely mechanical. Let's go to tax credits on 2 or more foreign countries. Nicanor, Filipino citizen residing in Enreyes Street, Sampaloc, Manila, made the following donations. Net gift Philippines, net gift Singapore, donors tax paid in Singapore, net gift in South Korea, donors tax paid in Korea. As a CPA, he has the following allowable tax credit, estate tax payable. So, dalawa yung tanong. Allowable tax credit at saka estate tax payable. Anong sabi natin sa limit 1? Kunin muna natin ang per country. Okay, magkano muna yung total net estate net gift natin? So 10 million Philippines, Singapore 5 million, Korea 5 million, total 20 million. So Singapore tayo 5 over 20, South Korea 5 over 20 din. That's limit 1. Okay, compute natin ang estate ang donor's tax due. Sorry, copy paste. Okay. Ginaya ko kasi sa estate. Kasi parehas lang din naman. Okay, so 15 million, 20 million, okay, minus 250,000, 20 million minus 250,000. So yeah, tama naman tong 1185. So 20 million minus 250,000 is 1,185,000. So ilagay natin dito. Ito yung Philippine donor's tax. Ito yung Philippine donor's tax. Okay? So 5 over 20 times 1185 limit in Singapore 296, 250. Magkano yung binayaran? 1 million. Alin na mas mababa? 296. Yun ang gawin natin. South Korea, 5 over 20 times Philippine donor's tax, 1185, 296 din ang sagot. Magkano yung binayaran? 100,000. Alin ang lower? 100,000. Kunin natin yan. Total, 396,250. Okay? Gawin naman natin yung sa limit B, yung foreign country, all. So, Singapore and Korea, 5 million plus 5 million, 10 million over 20 million times Philippine donor's tax, 1185. Magkano yung total? 592,500. Magkano yung total payment na 1.1? Saan galing to? Ito, yung dalawa. Okay, ayan yan. 1,100,000. Alin ang mas mababa sa dalawa? Kitang-kita naman, 592. Kunin natin ang 592. Ngayon, i-compare natin yung dalawa. Yung 396 at saka 250 at saka yung 592,500. Alin ang mas mababa? Okay, natural, ito, kitang-kita naman. Yan ang allowable. Okay? So, magkano yung estate tax due? 1185. Minus allowable, 396,250. Babayaran lang, dollars tax payable, 788,700. Okay? Easy, di ba? Napakadali. Hindi ko nga alam bakit gusto nyo mag-accountancy. Just imagine, lahat ng to gagawin nyo. Pero masaya. Okay? So, exercises, donation of real property. So, Nicanor donated one of his real properties to Inday. Zonal value is 5 million. Assessed value 3 million. Inday accepted the donation. Compute the donor's tax and the documentary stamp tax. Sinama na natin itong doc stamp para at least, kasi magkasabay yan sa processing ng transaction. Okay, since yan ay real property, sabi natin kanina, note the important considerations. Donation of real property is subject to documentary stamp tax. So rate is 15 pesos for every 1,000. Okay? So solutions, donor's tax. Simula tayo gross gift, whichever is higher of zonal value or assessed value. Zonal 5 million, assessed 3 million. Mali na mas mataas, natural 5 million. Tanggalin natin, bawasan natin ng 250. First, so ito ay 4,750,000. Sorry. Times 6%. Okay, tingnan nga natin. 4,750, 1, 2, 3, times 0.06. 285,000. Tama naman po tayo dito. Okay, so 285,000. Next, documentary stamp tax. Gross gift 5 million, whichever is higher din po yan. Rate is 15 pesos for every 1,000. Pwede mong gawin to kasi walang fraction yung 5 million. Pag may fraction, tatanggalin mo yung fraction. Okay? So, 15 pesos for every 1,000. So, documentary stamp tax, 75,000. Okay? So, ayan po. Practicein natin yung doc stamp na merong fraction. So, 5 million halimbawa. 5 million. Okay, 100,000. May fraction ba yan? Wala yung fraction. Bakit po? Kasi divisible by 1,000 yan. 5,100,000 times 15 divided by 1,000. Ang tax natin dyan, 76,500. So, paano kung 5 million? Okay. 5 million. Sorry. Okay, 5 million, 1,000. 5,001,000. Sorry ha, ba't ayaw magsulat? So anyway, 5,001,000 yan. 5,001,000. Okay? So, meron bang fraction dyan? Walang fraction. Bakit? Ito ay 1,000. So, ang tax natin dyan, 75,000. Dito, fraction na 1,000 na yan, 15 pesos yan. So, 75,000, 15 pesos ang sagot natin. Kahit di ko na-computein yan, kabisado ko yan. Okay. Ito yung fraction na sinasabi ko. 5 million. 0,00,01. Okay. Hindi natin pwedeng i-divide it, i-multiply yan ng 15 times 1,000. Bakit? Magiging butal ang sagot natin. Kasi, yung 5 million na buo, at saka itong 1 peso na fraction, is equivalent to 15 pesos na yan. Okay? Kasi fraction yan. So, kahit yan ay 999 below, okay, equivalent to, ano po yan, 15 pesos. So, in this case, ang tax natin dito, 75,000, 15 pesos. Okay, kasi fraction, 1 peso. Paano naman kung ganito? 5 million, 100, 15,000, 500. Yan. 500. Magkano ang ating doc stamp dyan? So, ito ay fraction. Okay? So, ang gagawin natin, itong 5,115,000 ay buo. So, 5,115,000, okay, times 15 divided by 1,000. Ang sagot natin dyan, 76,725. Plus 15 pesos na fraction sa 500. So, plus 15 pesos, ang sagot natin dyan ay 76,740. Okay, I'm just trying to explain how to apply the rule relative to the use of the fraction. Okay, so mag-ingat po tayo dyan. Let's go to another exercise. Donation of personal property. Kanina, real property. Nicanor donated 10,000 shares of stock of ABC Corp to Inday. Inday accepted the donation. The audited financial statements of ABC Corp disclose the following information. Assets 20 million, liabilities 10 million. Stockholders equity natural 10 million. Nilagay ko na yan dyan para hindi na kayo malito. Pag hindi nilagay yan, walang problema. I-minus mo lang yung dalawa. Asset minus liability. Okay? Outstanding shares 100,000 with par value of 10 pesos per share. So, paano natin ma-compute ang donor stocks and doc stamp? Okay? So, determination of book value, alamin muna natin. So, book value per share, okay, ang sabi nating formula, stockholders equity divided by outstanding shares. So, magkano stockholders equity? 10 million. over 100,000 shares. So magkano yung ating book value? 100 pesos per share. Okay, so magkano yung dinonate? Gross gift, 100 times 10,000 shares. So magkano yon? 1 million. Less, except gift 250. Net gift 1,750,000. Rate 6%. Donor's tax 45,000. Easy ang donor's tax. Huwag mo lang kakalimutan tong exempt gift. Okay? Now, how about the documentary stamp tax? Anong sabi natin kanina sa rule? Only donations of real property is subject to documentary stamp tax. Since this is a personal property, a shares of stock. Okay? There is no documentary stamp tax to assess and collect. And therefore, the answer is 0. Okay? So, multiple donations during the year. So, Nicanor made the following donations for the year: January 30, 2020, 2 million, March 30, 1 million, August 15, 500,000. Compute the donor's tax payable on January 30, March 30, and August 15. Okay? So, puntahan natin ang ating mga kasagutan dito. Deed of donation, nakalagay po dyan, January 30. Nag-donate ng 2 million. Okay, bawas natin ng 250. Ayan, 1,750. Okay, times 6% lang po ito. Times 6%. 6% yan, 105,000. Ito yung babayaran sa January 30. Mga kapatid, donor's tax payable ang tanong. Okay? So, second donation, March 30. Donation nung March 30, 1 million. Ayun. Nag-donate nung nakaraan, 2 million. Cumulative ang sabi natin. Bakit? Para isang gamitan lang ng 250,000 na exempt gift. So, total donation, 3 million minus 250. Net gift, 2,750,000 times 6%, 165,000. Ngayon, dito ba? Okay. 165,000. August 15. Parang may binayaran 100,000 dito. Sorry. May binayaran dito 105,000. Nagbayad ng 105,000. So, therefore, 65,000 na po yan. Okay. Kasi, yun, 105,000 binayaran. Okay. So, 105,000. So, total payable 60,000 only. 60,000 only. Sorry. Okay. So now to August 15, third donation. Donation 500,000. So ayun, 500. Donation in January 2 million. Donation in March 1 million. Cumulative ang sabi natin. So 3.5 million minus 250,000. So net gift 3,250,000. Times 6%, 195,000. Less tax paid. Nagbayad dito ng 105. Nagbayad dito ng 60. Total 165,000. So donor's tax payable on 15, 2020 is only 30,000 pesos. Okay, paki-correct lang dito, 105,000 ang ilalagay natin. So total payable only 60,000. Okay, administrative requirements. Donor's tax. What to file? Donor's tax return, BIR form 1800. Who shall file? Any person making a donation. So therefore, donor. Okay? Whether direct or indirect, kasama rin implied donation. Unless the donation is specifically exempt under the NIRC or other special laws is required for every donation. So yung example natin kanina, since 3 beses nag-donate, 3 beses magpa-file ng BIR form 1800. To accomplish under oath a donor's tax return in duplicate daw. The return shall set forth each gift made during the calendar year, the deductions, any previous gift isasama, the name of the donee isasama, such other information as the commissioner may require. Mga kapatid, okay, if you are exempted from donor's tax, you are still required to file the donor's tax return. Bakit? Every donation, if you are a person who made the donation, you are required to file because the exemption from the payment of the donor's tax is different from the exemption from the filing. So kung exempted ka sa filing, ito yan, Ito yung sinasabi, specifically exempt. Kung exempted ka sa filing, doon ka pa lang pwedeng hindi mag-file. Pero if you are not exempted, you are required to file. Okay? Because the act of filing is different from the act of payment or exemption from taxes. So even if you are again exempted from donor's tax, you are not exempted from the filing, then you are required to file. Anong ilalagay mo? Eto. Halimbawa, nag-donate ka ng 1 million. Gross gift. Exempted to kasi nag-donate ka sa gobyerno. Less 1 million din. Donor's tax. Exempted. Okay, so huwag ka matatakot kahit na exempted yan unless you are specifically exempted by law. Okay, when do you file and pay the donor's tax? Within 30 days after the date the gift is made or completed. Kasi di ba meron tayong completed, yung acceptance, yung knowledge. Ito yung or the date of notarization, which is the common practice. Tinitignan ang date of notarization ng deed of donation. That is the reckoning of the period of the 30 days. Okay, kung nanotaryuhan ngayon yan, let's say October 14 ngayon, so November 13 ang deadline yan.